There's a moment, silent, microscopic, where a woman's eyes meet yours and her nervous system makes a decision long before her mind has language for it. In that first slice of time, she's not measuring your resume, your IQ, or your joke inventory. She's scanning for tension and ease, for certainty wrapped in warmth, for the felt sense that standing next to you will either drain her or expand her. Most men blow this moment because they try to impress with noise instead of presence. They chase approval instead of commanding attention. They reach outward when the game begins inward. Today, I'm going to hand you 7 psychological switches that make the opposite sex like you almost instantly. Not because you're pretending to be someone else, but because you're removing the static that blocks the version of you that women are wired to notice. If what you hear in the next minute starts to rearrange your self-image, stay with me until the end. We're just getting started, and every piece builds the next. First, tune your body before you tune your words. People don't bond with sentences, they bond with signals. Your nervous system teaches her nervous system how to feel about you. The fastest way to shift the signal is radical stillness. Deliberate, unhurried, grounded stillness that says, "I'm not in a hurry to earn you." Walk into a room as if gravity favors you. Shoulders relaxed, jaw unclenched, breath low and slow, movements with a half-second delay like you're tasting time before you spend it. Triangular eye contact, left eye, right eye, lips, then back to the eyes, with a clean half smile that lifts only one corner of your mouth. No darting pupils, no scanning for escape routes or external validation. That micro-behavior telegraphs that you're safe, that you have options, and that you like your own company. Stillness is not stiffness, it's liquid control. When she feels your pace slow the room by 5%, she feels better in her own skin near you. Attraction starts as regulated nervous systems syncing to the calmest source. You become that source by choice, not by accident. Second, enter like a man who belongs everywhere without needing anywhere. This is status without words. Think angles and territory. Most men collapse inward. They shrink their silhouette, clutch their drink at chest level, cross arms, or hide their hands. You're going to reverse that. Show your hands. It signals honesty and confidence at a primal level. Keep your feet shoulder width to widen your base and claim space without aggression. When you arrive in a group, don't rush to fill silence. Pause at the edge, take the scene in. Let people feel you before they hear you. That pause is the social equivalent of a hook. Humans orient to stillness when everything else is noisy. Your voice? Lower your first sentence by 1 or 2 notes from your default pitch and slow your first 5 words. The opening cadence matters more than the content. The sound of certainty turns heads. Let the group's energy climb to meet you instead of you scrambling to match theirs. This is how you create the impression that you could lead if you wanted to, and you could leave if you chose to. Women feel the difference instantly. The man who is trying to be included versus the man who naturally includes himself. Third, ignite curiosity before comfort. Liking begins with intrigue, not explanation. Most men overshare to seem trustworthy. They dump information and sit there hoping something lands. That's a slow path. The fast path is to open loops, statements that imply depth without handing every card at once. Curiosity is a tension you build on purpose. Use precise, short lines that make her brain lean forward. Say less than you know and imply more than you say. Offer edges, not essays. A simple frame like, "I have a weird rule about first impressions," does more than a paragraph about your job. Follow with a light, playful qualification. If your energy matches your smile, we'll get along. If not, I'll pretend we never met. It's warm and selective at once. Or seed a future thread. Remind me to ask you about the thing most people misread about you. You've just signaled that you see beyond surfaces, and you've created a reason for the conversation to continue. Curiosity is not manipulation, it's respect for pacing. You don't reveal the entire painting in the first brushstroke. You let her enjoy the process of discovery, and, crucially, you enjoy it too. Fourth, project warmth with a spine. Attraction isn't kindness alone or dominance alone. It's the alloy. You need the soft with the steel. The fastest warmth is attentive presence, mirroring not her posture like a robot, but her cadence and emotional temperature with light calibration. If she's animated, you become the grounded tether she can land on. If she's reserved, you become the gentle spark that nudges the dial up. Mirror with intention, then lead. When she speaks, don't stack your story on top of hers. Stitch your response into hers. A quick empathic label works like a key. Feels like you love the challenge more than the win. If you're wrong, she'll correct you, which deepens the thread. If you're right, she'll feel seen instantly. Then add a playful challenge to prevent the warmth from going flat. But tell me you're not the type who ghosts your gym membership every March. It's not rude, it's friction with a smile, the kind that says you're not afraid of a little back and forth. This warm challenge dynamic creates the chemistry most men try to buy with compliments. She doesn't want a fan. She wants a man who can enjoy her light without being blinded by it. Fifth, qualify her early with standards that feel human, not harsh. Liking is reciprocal. People like people who value them, not people who pedestal them. Qualifying means inviting her to step into your world by naming what you actually appreciate beyond the obvious. Do it quickly, do it lightly, and do it specifically. I value women who can disagree without turning it into a war, lands 10 times deeper than you're pretty. Or, if I ask your best friend what she trusts you with, what's the first word out of her mouth? Now you're not just flirting, you're recruiting character. This puts you in the chooser frame without bragging. The secret is to smile as you say it and hold eye contact with an energy of, I hope you're that person, not, you'd better be. When she shares something real, mark it and move the conversation forward as if that was the expected standard. Don't gush. Gushing signals scarcity. You simply show that you notice quality, and you live at that level as a matter of course. Instantly, you become rarer, because most men only ever ask for availability, not alignment. Sixth, master micro-escalation through invitations, not intrusions. Connection accelerates when you add tiny layers of shared experience that she can step into freely. Forget aggressive touching. Instead, escalate with choices that protect her autonomy while advancing intimacy. If you're standing, pivot to the side slightly to create a subtle, open door in your stance. Motion with your palm up, never down, and say, walk with me for 30 seconds. I want to see how you tell a story when you move. She decides. If you're seated, propose a micro-adventure inside the conversation. 2-minute game. Tell me the most underrated spot in this city, and I'll tell you a rule I broke to like it. Create a tiny team. Share an object briefly. Hold this for me, then take it back with a smile, as if the shared moment was a given. If she nods while you speak, lightly echo her last 2 words before adding your thought. Her nervous system will feel tracked and safe, which is the doorway to deeper play. The principle is simple. Escalate responsibility before you escalate touch. Invitations that let her participate without pressure turn you into the safest risk in the room. That is a paradox she remembers. Seventh, embody time scarcity without performing it. Scarcity is irresistible when it's real, not because you're faking busyness, but because you're not hungry for endless attention. Set time boundaries out loud with warmth at the start or soon after. I've got 5 minutes before I meet a friend, but I'm curious about something. This tells her 2 things. You have a life and you're intentional. When time's up, you end the interaction first with a soft takeaway. This was fun. Continue next time. Use that smile as your ticket. You create a cliffhanger and then you honor it by leaving. Most men never leave at a high point. They hang on until the energy dips and they wonder why the follow-up feels flat. You'll become memorable by departing on an upward note. The exit is the echo. The last 5 seconds of an interaction color the memory of the whole thing. When you control your exit, you control the story she tells herself about you later. And stories are where attraction lives when you're not there. Now let's plug these into real, usable behaviors so your brain can run them without effort. Start by priming before you walk in. 1 deep breath in through your nose for 4 counts. Hold for 2. Out through your nose for 6. Do it 3 times. Roll your shoulders back and imagine 2 inches of extra space above your head, like a string lifting your crown. This resets posture without making you look like a soldier. As you enter, scan the room with your chin slightly tucked, eyes soft like you're already amused by something only you know. Pick 1 anchor point, a painting, a doorway, a window, and for 1 beat, let your gaze rest there. That tiny pause announces presence. Then step into the nearest conversation bubble at an angle, not straight on. Angles feel less intrusive and more confident. The first sentence out of your mouth should be low effort and high tone. Say something like, "I'm going to borrow 30 seconds of your collective genius," with a half grin. That's not a line. It's a frame. Then thread a curiosity hook. Quick debate. Two types of people. Those who order the same thing forever and those who gamble on the menu. Which one kills you faster? You've just started playful friction, created teams, and invited opinions without interrogations. When you're speaking one-on-one, compress your answers and expand your questions. Keep your responses at a rhythm where she gets the last word often, but you guide where the words go. If she asks, "What do you do?" Don't deliver a monologue. Give her a shape, not a resume. I solve hard problems for people who prefer their sleep. Then pivot to value and play. What problem would you secretly pay someone to take off your plate? You've taken a boring script and turned it into a mirror. She'll like you faster because you've given her an experience of herself with you that feels better than her baseline. That's all attraction is. Emotional elevation associated with your presence. You're not trying to be special, you're offering a better internal state. Practice the 3-second echo to show you track her. Repeat the last 2 or 3 words of her sentence as a question, then add your thread. She says, "I hate small talk." You echo, "Hate small talk?" Then pivot. Okay, speed run to real. What truth are you most protective of? That leap isn't aggressive because you've matched her complaint. You've taken her hand and walked her to a deeper layer she already asked for. Your face is as important as your words. Keep your expressions subtle and delayed. When you smile, let it arrive half a beat after she finishes a sentence, not in the middle. This feels like you're absorbing, not performing. When something surprises you, widen your eyes slightly, then relax them and tilt your head a few degrees as if you're savoring the find. Micro-expressions are the difference between charming and try hard. Your blink rate should slow when you are making a point and speed up slightly while you're listening. It signals engagement while keeping your composure. Nod once, slowly, at the end of her point, not in a frantic bob throughout. Your body is a metronome that sets the dance. If you get this right, even neutral topics feel charged because the exchange is textured. She begins to like you before she can explain why, because the why is inside her body. Calibration is your superpower. Every person has a comfort and challenge ratio that makes them come alive. Your job is to find it and surf it. If she answers in one-word replies but her eyes light up at competition, invite a micro-challenge. Convince me in 20 seconds that your morning routine isn't a hostage situation. If she's verbose and warm, introduce a precise cut. Give me the headline, not the article. Delivered with a smile, it feels like structure, not shutdown. If she's intellectual, ask for a concrete story. And if she's story-heavy, ask for a principle. You're guiding the mode, not the content. This shows leadership in the conversation, which reads as leadership in life. And while you lead, keep the door open for her to lead back. When she suggests a direction, follow it for a beat. Don't fear the handoff. True confidence is the ability to be led without losing the frame. The polarity stays intact because your center of gravity doesn't wobble. Invest in specificity. Vague compliments are cheap and forgettable. Specific observations are sticky because they prove attention. Your fun is noise. You punctuate with your eyebrows when you're about to disagree. Makes people lean in is signal. She feels seen as a singular person, not a category. Then pair your observation with a projection. I'd bet you're the one your friends call to broker peace after the group chat explodes. If you're right, she opens. If you're close, she corrects and still opens. Either way, you win. Because you're co-authoring a story about her that she wants to live up to. After a potent observation, go silent for 2 beats and hold eye contact. Let the moment breathe. Silence is the amplifier most men are afraid to use. But silence is where her mind does the work for you, connecting dots and building meaning that no line can force. Disqualify yourself lightly to lower her defenses while raising your standards. Say, "We'll probably argue about music," with a grin. Or, "I like people who can be bored in public without panicking." You become less threatening to her ego while staying selective. This paradox makes you easier to like because you're not positioning yourself as an adversary, yet you're not submitting either. It's the energy of a man who's comfortable being misunderstood for a moment. A man who doesn't chase being read correctly by every stranger. Women can relax around that because they're not being recruited into a fan club. They're being invited into a conversation with edges and humor. Your logistics matter. If you're talking standing up, change vantage points every few minutes, shift a step to the side, lean on a surface, glance at the room, then return. Movement resets attention. If music is loud, move to a quieter pocket and say, "I want to actually hear you." It's a micro-protection move that signals care without supplication. If you're seated, create a triangle. Her, you, and a shared external reference. The view, a piece of art, a quirky detail. Periodically drop your gaze to the reference and back to her. It stops the intensity from overheating and gives the interaction rhythm. Rhythm is comfort. Comfort accelerates liking when paired with intrigue. Your questions should be narrow enough to feel intimate, yet open enough to let her reveal range. Skip the lazy, "What do you do?" in favor of, "What do you protect your time for?" Skip, "Where are you from?" and try, "Where does your energy reset fastest?" These uncover values, not statistics. When she answers, echo a single vivid word she used and build on it. Reset, so you need contrast. Offer a quick insight and a nudge. People who need contrast are either builders or runners. Which one are you hiding? It's playful psychoanalysis without being heavy. You're creating a mirror that flatters not by compliment, but by understanding. Learn to read micro-yes signals, pupils widening for half a second, shoulders unlocking, a breath that deepens as you speak, her torso angling toward you, the corner of mouth smile that appears and disappears quickly. When you see two or more of these, escalate the connection by adding a layer, ask a riskier question, propose a quick walk, or offer a brief, low-stakes invitation. If the signals dim, lighten the conversation or widen the social circle for a minute before returning. You're a DJ fading tracks, not a bulldozer pushing one vibe. Men who are liked quickly and remembered later manage state transitions gracefully. They don't cling to one good moment, they create a series of them. Remember the principle of show don't announce. Never say, "I'm confident." Let your stack of small impossibles prove it. Steady eye contact while you disagree with a smile. A clean exit at your time boundary. A well-timed pause when the room gets rowdy. The way you include an outsider into the circle with a single sentence. "You look like you've got the winning answer. Save me from these people." Every micro-action is a pixel in the picture she's building of you. Pixels build trust faster than claims. By the time she realizes she likes you, you haven't asked her to. You've given her nervous system a better place to live for a few minutes. That becomes a craving. If what you've heard so far is shifting how you see yourself, good. Stay with me, because this next part is where you pull it together into a repeatable flow. Think of the interaction as 3 acts. Act 1. Establish presence and intrigue in under 60 seconds. Stillness, soft eyes, half smile, low first sentence, curiosity hook. Act 2. Build connection with warm challenge and qualification. Mirror her cadence, stitch your responses to hers, invite her to step into your standards, seed a micro-adventure. Act 3. Close strong, set a boundary, end on a high, leave a thread. Inside each act, you're scanning for micro-yes signals and adjusting. It's alive, not scripted. The 7 switches are your instruments. You'll improvise once you've practiced the scales. Let's sharpen your language with a few patterns you can adapt to your voice. To open, "I'm testing a theory. You'll either love it or roast me." To qualify, "I'm biased toward women who," followed by a value you genuinely hold. To challenge playfully, "Convince me you're not dangerous in the best way." To invite, "Walk with me. I need a second opinion." To frame scarcity, "I've got 3 minutes, and I'm spending them here." To exit, "This was easy. Continue later. Earn it." None of these are magic words. The magic is your tone, teasing without neediness, amused but respectful, selective without arrogance. Work on tone more than text. Record your voice and listen. Are you rushing? Are you seeking agreement? Are you pressuring the moment? Slow down. Drop your pitch at the ends of sentences. Finish thoughts cleanly. Leave room for her to come toward you. Protect your attention like it's your currency, because it is. The moment you start scanning the room while she's sharing, liking evaporates. Put your shoulder and your heart toward the person you're with, even if it's only for a minute. then move on deliberately when it's time. Undivided attention in brief, potent doses beats fractured presence stretched thin. People fall for how they feel about themselves in your presence. Make them feel sharper, calmer, more playful, more alive, and they'll associate you with the upgrade. This is ethical power. You can use it anywhere. Corridors, cafes, galleries, crowded patios, quiet kitchens. It's not context dependent. It's you dependent. If this is hitting something inside you, tell me what landed. I read every message because iron sharpens iron, and your perspective feeds the ideas I give next. And if you know a brother who's stuck in overthinking or drowning in try-hard energy, send this to him today. Don't keep it to yourself. We need more men who lead with grounded play instead of grasping performance. You can be one of them tonight. Here's your anchor to end with. Liking is not a raffle ticket you hope to win. It's a signal you tune. You tune it with stillness that slows the room. You tune it with entrance energy that announces presence before words. You tune it with curiosity that opens loops and lets her walk through them. You tune it with warmth braided to spine, with standards that invite her to rise, with invitations that escalate responsibility before touch, with time boundaries that make you the man who leaves on a high because his life moves. Do this and you won't chase being liked. You'll cause it. You'll notice it in the way people lean closer, in the way conversations find you, in the way women breathe easier around you and look back when you step away. That's not an accident, that's craft. If what you've heard today changed even 10% of how you'll show up, stay close. There's more I want to put in your hands, layer by layer. Drop your thoughts below so I can see where to sharpen the next blade. And when you take these 7 switches into the world tonight, remember, you're not performing, you're revealing. You're revealing the man whose presence is already a better place to be.